Hi, this is Jeff Keamy, and today I'm going to teach you how to monitor and troubleshoot your network. Now, monitoring and troubleshooting is going to be something that is very dynamic in how you implement this. There isn't one way to do this. There's just going to be a set of tools that you're going to be utilizing, and based on your experiences, you're going to start to figure out how to decipher when there's a particular issue on the network or a particular client is having a problem. The first thing I'm going to do is log into my controller. And I'm going to select the site that I'd like to troubleshoot. And today we're going to select this site, and I'm going to go over to Map. And the first set of tools that I have is looking at particular access points. The controller gives you an indicator as to whether an access point is online or offline. In this instance, the indicator is a green circle that's shaped like the unified disk. Sometimes they're blue, it depends on the model. And in this instance, they are green. So you can see that's going to be your first troubleshooting technique to help you figure out if there are problems on this network. Now I see everything is green here, so I'm happy to see that. I'd like to go on to the next thing. So I'm going to click on Clients. And here are all the clients that are currently on the network. And I'm going to select one, and maybe this is the one that's having issues. I don't know. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to give me various details on the connection of this particular device. I can see what access points it's connected to. I can see how long it's been connected. I can see the IP address it's been assigned, and I can see things like the host name and MAC address for the device, which can help me later on in troubleshooting things even further. I'm going to go over to statistics. This is a very important part to the troubleshooting. If someone calls in and says, hey, I'm not getting the signal that I want, this may be one of the first things that you check on. You can ask them, how many bars of strength they have, but if you get their IP address, MAC address, you can actually look that up and look at the statistics, and we can see this particular user is on channel 6, has an excellent signal, 99%. Great transmit and receiving rate. Everything looks great here, and this is what we want to see in the perfect scenario of what a connection might look like. We can check out the usage history. This gives you a short-term view of the usage history for this particular device, showing when they've used the network and how much bandwidth they consume during that time. We also have the ability to do some configuration here. So if this is someone is really having problems with this device, you may label this as priority checkout. So this might just give you an indicator, so I can rename that. And what that does is when it's over here, you'll see that it's changed from the host name that it has on its device to whatever I've defined it as. And sometimes I'll put some asterisks on the side just so I know that this is something that I need to continue to look at. I've also used this for individuals that have abused the network, and I might put heavy downloader or high bandwidth user in bold letters and put some asterisks around that just to kind of give me that indicator. So this is one of the tools that I use when I'm monitoring and troubleshooting. You also have the ability here to set the user group. So while I'm monitoring and troubleshooting and I see that there is an individual on the network that is a very, very high bandwidth user, perhaps going beyond what we call acceptable use, we could downgrade this into a separate user group called limited or slower speed until we're able to contact that particular person and let them know about their usage consumption. The next thing that you're going to use on your troubleshooting and monitoring is when you go over to statistics, you'll see a lot of different things on clients on the network on an hourly basis, the amount of consumption on bandwidth on an hourly basis. You can see which access points are being utilized the most. This may help you figure out where you might need to put an additional access point to help load balance the usage on the network. So there's a lot of different statistics here. And Insights is also going to be a very valuable tool where we can actually see top users on the network. So we can see that this particular person has used 536 gigabits, and that's quite a bit. So, that might be something that helps figure out, what we can do to let that person know that maybe they're on the heavy usage side. So essentially, when it comes to troubleshooting and monitoring, you have a myriad of different tools, and it's about looking at your tools and from experiences that you've gained learning how to decipher where issues might be, whether it's on an access point, whether it's on the client side, or whether it's a bandwidth or traffic issue with not enough bandwidth at the property. So there's a lot of different things that you can utilize here to help you boil down to what the issue is on a particular network. This is Jeff Keamy giving you a brief overview on monitoring and troubleshooting your network using your controller software.